All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. We are back for another week of Just a Fan Podcast.
We in the thing.
Huh?
I said we in this thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We in this thing. We in this thing. Hey, so let me go ahead and let's get started for the show. You already know who I am, Coach Williams, the Wildcat quarterback that runs this thing, the NFL Encyclopedia, future Hall of Famer. That direction, panel 316, the good guy with the black hat. Down below.
My microphone tonight, so I'm kind of winging it.
Yeah, but it's it's not, I can hear you, and I think people can hear you, but it's just, not as strong. That's all.
People in the chat, if you can hear me pretty good, give me a thumbs up. Appreciate you.
And Donald right there. What's up, man?
Donald Ray.
What's up, Donald?
And then down below, Steve Space Age, the man that came up with the idea for the show. Y'all better remember that, okay? He's the reason why me. He's the reason why this thing has gotten started, okay?
That'd be me.
There you go. All right. So here we go. Breaking news. About 3 hours ago, I believe, 3-4 hours ago. And Steve got kicked out for some reason, but he'll be back. The Baltimore Ravens decided to give veteran tight end Mark Andrews a contract extension. It's a new 3-year contract for $39.3 million at $13.1 million a year, $26 million guaranteed. Eric, here's your response from Donald.
Right,
and that's what I was saying. So, yeah, even without the mic, it's still pretty good. But anyway, Mark Andrews has a contract extension. And he is not a young tight end, if I'm not mistaken, actually.
He's 30 years old.
He's right at 30?
Yeah,
he's 30 years old. So he turns 30 in September. So he'll be 31 at the beginning of the season. So this is not a young player at all. Okay. I would have given that contract extension to Isaiah Likely, unless they saying something that I'm not saying, because Likely is 26, who turns 27 in the offseason, I think in April, if I'm not mistaken, when I looked it up. So here's a guy who, I don't know what Baltimore's doing. I don't know what Baltimore's doing, because you could, you could have given that money to Likely. You could have drafted another tight end to be a number 2 tight end. I'm lost. I'm confused with the whole thing, because age. You want to get. You want to keep veterans around, but there's a time where you just got to start getting rid of veterans and go cheaper and go younger. At least that's how I always, believe that. That's how you should keep a team going.
I'll do you one better.
Go ahead.
They should have used that money on and put it aside for trying to find an alpha receiver.
I agree.
In the offseason.
I agree.
Mark Andrews, as good as he has been, is on the decline in his career. We can think back to that playoff game where basically he drops the game-winning pass.
Yeah.
In the end zone. He has not been able to separate as well as he has been in the past.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying he's washed, because that's the word that most analysts like to use with people who on the back leg of their career. But we talking about what, 13.1 million a year for a tight end that he may not play those 3 years. He could, but
He's not gonna be the same.
he's not gonna be the same. Like the old saying, "Father Time is undefeated."
Yes.
And I just, for the Ravens, I would have put that money aside to try to put that with some more money to package it and go get a good receiver. Because what's been holding the Ravens back for so many years, it's not quarterback play. Even though a lot of people dog Lamar Jackson out, it's really not quarterback play.
It's not.
It's not the running game.
Not at all.
Even though they kind of forget to run the ball in the playoffs. It's not that.
Right.
The Achilles heel of the Ravens is two things. One, the defense is not what they used to be. Two, they do not have a true alpha receiver. They don't have a dominant number one. They went and got DeAndre Hopkins, and he's
past his prime.
He's past his prime. It's like they're getting ready to call the Ravens the over the hill game. Derrick Henry is a phenom, but he's 30-something.
Yes.
Then you put all of this money into Mark Andrews, who's 30, going to be 31, I believe, when the season starts, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You want to try to use that money toward a reset, not a rebuild, but a reset. You still have the core pillars of that team that you can do something with. Excuse me. You can do something with.
You have a quarterback who you can win with.
You have a quarterback you can win with. Derrick Henry probably still has a couple of good years left in him, and you have other guys in that running back room. It doesn't have to be out Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
but you got to reset in some positions. You got to, Isaiah likely needs more snaps. He's the younger tight end with better separation skills. Probably at this point in his career, better hands. You need to revamp the defense. Spend that money on another defensive player or pass rusher, because that's been an issue for the Ravens. Kyle Hamilton's still doing his thing. The young cornerbacks are still. I think the secondary is okay in Baltimore, but outside of Roquan Smith, what's in the front seven? If you really think about it.
Yeah,
but Bouquet's there. But that's where the money should have gone. And that's just my opinion. And I'm gonna stand on that. But and again, I want to be clear. I don't think that Mark Andrews is washed. I don't think that. I think he's a good player. I think he's still a contributor. However,
he's declining.
And that's not where that money should have gone.
Look, man, the Ravens, in my opinion, the money could have gone anywhere. Until they change their offensive scheme, it's not going to make a difference. I've always said this. They're going to be good enough to make the playoffs most years. But the tight ends are guys that get open when plays break down. Lamar, we know he's dynamic. He can run fast. He has good arm talent. He makes one read and he bounces. There's, like you said, there's no alpha dogs that can really just dominate where he can sit back and throw to them. He has small, fast receivers. He's always had small, fast receivers that he waits to get open when the play breaks down, or he'll scramble out. That's their offense, which is why, and they've been figured out for years now. It's like this. It's the same show. Not saying Andrew doesn't deserve it. I think it's a lot for him, but there's value in a tight end that when that play does break down, he can get open and make a big play once he gets open after the play breaks down.
Yeah, but
that's just their offense. That's how they work.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying, Steve, but then give it to the tight end that's going to separate and get open, that's younger, and Isaiah Likely. Also, they are on their second offensive coordinator, and he's more of a spread guy than what Greg Roman was, because Greg Roman was just all option. I mean, option this, option that, option everything. And I don't know. Well, Baltimore just seems to be allergic to getting a receiver and keeping them because for the most part, Baltimore's always going to draft in the 20s. You can trade a first round pick or two for one of these receivers. Just like right now, Justin Jefferson is upset in Minnesota because there's no quarterback right now in Minnesota. This offseason will be a good time to package a first round pick or two to Minnesota, get him.
But he won't get the ball in Baltimore.
Huh?
He won't get the ball in Baltimore.
With the offensive coordinator they have now, he should get the ball.
He should, but this is my opinion. If you watch a lot of Ravens games, pass play, he'll snap, make a read, want to run, then go back into the pocket to try to do something else. Then the play breaks down. That's just how they roll. Like if I'm an alpha dog receiver, I do not want to play in Baltimore because he won't get that many targets. Anybody won't.
Well, I don't know how you don't get a alpha dog receiver targets. I mean, well, actually, yes, I do. I'm not going there yet, but Baltimore needs to do something because if not, they're going to be a limited team with just quarterback and running back, and they will never make it very far in the playoffs whenever they do make it. Because you look at like New England. New England has a very young quarterback who's in the second year. He's only going to continue to get better and better. They have a lot of draft picks and a lot of salary cap space. They can really take their team to the next level next year. Denver, Bo Nix, second-year quarterback. He could use a little bit more, a couple more weapons here and there, but that defense is legit. They top 3, top 5 in the league. So
top 2.
Baltimore needs to start figuring stuff out now while they still have Lamar Jackson and still capable of at least minimum be AFC championship contenders. They need to figure out something. I don't care who gets targets or what. You need to go get a receiver. Spend on getting a receiver.
Yeah, I think the whole thing in a nutshell is I just they're spending money in the wrong place. Put it like that. I really feel like they're spending money in the wrong place. And I'm not saying that Mark Andrews doesn't deserve to be paid. I'm not saying he's washed. I want to be clear on that. But there's other places you could go with that money. That's just how I feel. Going into next season, I think the Ravens cap situation, they got projected. Now, of course, this is fluid because we're not going to know what the real cap is until the middle of the offseason. But right now, the Ravens are looking at, they got about 13.5 in cap space. Now, we know the cap's probably going to go up another almost $20 million or more. But
even with that, you're still going to have to push some buttons and cut some players.
You got to make some room.
Yeah.
And because let's be real. I mean, we want to talk about the playoff picture. Let's be honest. The Ravens are the 4th seed right now, but that's very, very precarious. I mean, they like eggshells right now.
Yeah, because their division is kind of tight, especially with them in Pittsburgh.
With they're 6-6,
right.
And Pittsburgh is 6-6.
Yeah.
And it's like, which that's a great segue into our next topic.
For the AFC North.
Yeah. Guys, you remember when we did our division by division breakdown, all of us, I believe, agreed that the AFC North will probably be one of the strongest divisions in football. And just now, the 2 leading teams are right at 500. So honestly, you could say that they're one of the weakest divisions in the NFL right now,
which is odd.
which is really strange because it's like you have the Steelers at 6-6, you have the Ravens at 6-6. They're tied for the lead of the division.
Yeah.
The Cincinnati Bengals are 4-8. The Cleveland Browns,
behind.
the Cleveland Browns are the Cleveland Browns. They're 3-9. But it's like, are they canceling each other out? People in the chat, please give your opinions. But are they canceling each other out? Is that what it is? Because, they're just beating each other up? Or is, I know about the Joe Burrow injury. I already said that Aaron Rodgers is going to have them just above 500, going to do just enough to mess up their chances at a quarterback in the future. I really see the Pittsburgh Steelers trading for Kirk Cousins in the offseason because it's not going to be
oh God,
it's not going to be a quality rookie coming out. This class is worse off than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Way worse off. Yes.
That's two things we missed on. Like we really thought that the AFC North was going to be one of the strongest division in the AFC. And we thought that this quarterback class is going to be strong. But to digress, Aaron Rodgers has only done so much in Pittsburgh. We predicted that. We were right about that. Baltimore looks very mediocre.
Yes.
And their record dictates that.
Yes.
And then, of course, Cincinnati, they're 4-8, but let's be real. Cincinnati will probably be 6-6. Or maybe 7-5 or something like that if Burrow was playing, because that defense is atrocious.
It is.
So, and of course you got Cleveland down there being Cleveland.
Yeah, because they don't want to start Shedeur Sanders. We'll get to that in a minute too.
In a minute, yes. So thoughts on that, Brandon? AFC North.
There was a time where Cleveland did stay on the bottom like they always do, like they are now.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a good point by Donald that Arch Manning is not coming out this year.
Arch Manning needs to stay in school.
He needs to stay for another year.
He needs to stay for another year because he's still this year he showed he's kind of great. He has his moments, but he's not consistent.
Right. Cincinnati, depending on what the roster looked like, they could have been somewhere between average to about a wild card team in the past.
6-7.
But Pittsburgh and Baltimore used to be juggernaut. Okay, Pittsburgh and Baltimore used to be juggernauts, man.
Yeah.
And now you look at both teams, and it's like, man, y'all look like a shell of yourselves, man.
They look like that's the That's the best. You put. I could have put it perfect. They are shell of themselves.
They are shell of themselves. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. And I want to hear what you guys say.
I remember there was a time when a chat, you guys right here, and those of you in the chat agree with me if you what I'm about to say, if you agree. There was a time where you didn't have to be a Steelers fan, you didn't have to be a Ravens fan, but when they played each other, you
watched that game. Yes, you did.
You knew it was going to be a slob and not be some great football.
And because of where I live, I get Ravens games all the time.
Yeah, and I'm here in Texas, but it was like, okay, Steelers playing the Ravens. I'm watching that.
That's the second biggest rivalry in the NFL.
Yeah,
over the last, especially 20 years, especially
20, yeah.
The last 20 years when it was, you had the Ray Lewis era, the Troy Polamalu era, the Ed Reeds, the Jonathan Ogden, the Ben Roethlisbergers, the Jerome Bettis, the Willie Parkers, the Hines Ward. Man, you knew that those two teams were going to go at it. Dogfight, and you needed ice baths like crazy. But also, when they didn't play each other, they both were elite teams. And I mean elite, okay?
Yeah.
Because
And you knew it has some kind of relevance to the playoff picture.
Yes, and that's another thing too.
Not just in that division, but them playing each other affected other spots.
Yeah, because
in the AFC.
It was Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, New England for the most part. A lot of times the Chargers, because but even though they never went to Super Bowl, but those were usually your 5 teams that you knew was getting in for the most of the time. And like you said, they will affect not just themselves trying to win the division, but other teams trying to get that number 1 seed, the number 2 seed. Because at the time, the number 1 and number 2 seeds had bye weeks. So, yeah, right now they are definitely a shutdown for themselves. And I know both franchises are trying to hang on to their head coaches because of the head coach's past of winning Super Bowls. But at some point, if this continues, I don't know when, and I know Pittsburgh usually don't fire coaches. I don't know how much longer Tomlin can keep hanging. I don't know how much longer Tomlin can keep hanging. And I don't know how much longer. I know. But I don't know how much longer Tomlin can keep hanging, and I don't know how much longer. Honestly, I don't know how much longer Harbaugh can keep hanging.
That's true.
Because Harbaugh has not even
been on the hot seat.
When is the last
2 years ago?
When's the last time Harbaugh been to a conference championship game? Was that against Kansas City? Was that championship game or was that division round game?
I can't remember. I think that was
That might have been the.
So it's all a blur. That's what's funny because it's all a blur.
Yeah, it's all blurred, right?
Yeah.
So now it's like
the Ravens' matriculation through the playoffs in the last probably 10, 15 years has been a blur.
They have not been the same since Ben Roethlisberger started declining that quarterback. They have not been the same. They are not that elite team anymore.
No.
Neither team, neither roster, neither franchise is elite anymore. Like that's why I said they are shelved themselves. And it makes you wonder, like, when are you going to move on from them? Now, could Tomlin and Harbaugh get jobs somewhere else? Yeah, but right now they're not the same.
Well, first thing first, we got to address the elephant in the room. The Steelers don't fire coaches, so it would be unprecedented.
I
I'm not saying it wouldn't happen. I'm just saying that if it did happen, we have to address the fact that it would be completely unprecedented.
Yes, it would. But you know what? There's a saying, and all three of us know it. There's a first time for everything.
Yeah. No,
there's a first time for everything.
So folks in the chat that are watching, we're gonna pose a question to you. If Mike Tomlin has an under 500, that'll be his first losing season. Has an under 500 record this season, will the Steelers can it? I'm leaning towards no.
I'm leaning towards no as well.
Because
I honestly think that he will have to have one or two more under 500 years before.
I agree.
Before they let him go.
And that's
one more after this one. One more after this one.
He's never had a losing record, and this will be his first.
And Donald has been a consistent replier.
Yeah.
He agrees. He says no. Let me ask you. Okay, so then let me ask this question then. How many more years do you give Harbaugh at the rate things are going?
Now Harbaugh,
it's different.
It's a little different because Harbaugh's Super Bowls have been more recent. I think he gets a little bit more leeway.
When did Tomlin win?
The last one Tomlin won
was that 06?
Yeah.
No,
maybe
no, that was what you call it?
Oh, Bears. I'm thinking Bears Colts. Okay. Who did they beat? Oh, the Cardinals in 09.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
That was the Cardinals. So yeah, you're right. It is more recent, but it's really only a 3-year swing because Baltimore won in 2012. So it's a 3-year swing.
But remember, they also win again against the Packers in 2011 in Dallas.
Yeah, they did. They lost to the Packers.
They lost. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's so long ago, man.
I agree.
It's been a minute for both coaches.
So here's the thing, and it's not necessarily, I guess you would call a pushback per se, but looking at the picture holistically, think about how difficult it is to find a quality head coach in the NFL. And you got two coaches who have, albeit a minute ago, have won Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
You have to consider that.
That is true. But
at the same time, you know, teams want to go in different directions at points.
Also things have expiration dates.
And there are other coaches that are underperforming big time. Not saying Tomlin is by like in a huge way, but there are other coaches that really have all the pieces in place that are underperforming.
Yeah, I agree.
With way better rosters.
Yeah.
And weaker divisions. Well, until this year, I'm thinking about
this year.
Who are you thinking of?
The Bills specifically, but
the Bills. Well, okay. See, Bills. Okay, I can't get to Buffalo right now. I can't get to Buffalo right now because we got to stay on topic. But yeah. Yeah. To wrap up the AFC North, man. Before we go over to Shedeur Sanders, Baltimore and Pittsburgh are just not who they used to be. I think at some point, if things continue to go the way they are, both coaches are going to be out of there. And it's not this year, but it could possibly happen maybe the next 2 years, 3 max, complete max. Okay. That's how I see it.
I see. Okay. So here's my outlook on that. I don't think what's happening this year is going to happen in the future. I got enough faith in
Well, which one?
For both these coaches, for Harbaugh or Tomlin. I think they have a way of righting the ship. Now, Tomlin has a harder job simply because Aaron Rodgers is probably going to retire. And if he doesn't retire, he's going to decline on such a level that it's going to be shameful. So he's going to have to find a franchise quarterback. He's going to have a tougher job. Harbaugh, on the other hand, it's a couple of quick fixes that can fix the Baltimore Ravens, where they're right back to being in the upper echelon of the AFC. Quick fixes. That is true. Stuff that you can fix in the draft or in free agency.
And they did have some injuries on defense because Madubuike is out for the season. Some guys got healthy within the last 4 weeks.
So you're looking at, you're getting guys back. I think the back end of that defense is phenomenal. They're not the problem. The secondary is not the problem. This was going on in front seven outside of Roquan Smith, who's probably the second best Mike linebacker in the game.
They need edge rusher bad,
but edge rush is going to that's something that can be fixed in free agency or the draft.
Yeah,
and they need an alpha receiver. That's 2 draft picks, or that's either a free agent and a draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
And they're right back into being dominant. As long as they make the right picks, they make the right decisions personnel wise. Harbaugh can flip things around quicker than Tomlin is going to be able to going into next season, because Tomlin's got to find a quarterback. That's what it's going to be to help him keep his job. He's going to have to find a quarterback that it can't be just somebody that has a pulse. It's got to be somebody that can deliver.
And Tomlin needs a wide receiver, Steve.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh,
didn't bring my popcorn this time, y'all. Pull up, y'all.
Hold on, timeout. Steve is agreeing with me that the Steelers need a wide receiver.
They got some serviceable ones, but they do need
serviceable.
Nobody, Brandon. No receiver on the roster serviceable.
Okay. Yeah,
I tell you,
because
boy,
guess what?
Denver has one good season, and this Brandon don't know how to act.
No. Ain't no one good season.
Yeah.
No. It ain't one good season. Nothing. That boy, you know full well, was nothing but a number 2 receiver over in Seattle. And it's interesting how he leaves Seattle, and Jack Smith and Jigba is fantastic, man. And I mean fantastic. And guess what? The receiver they got rid of, who's on our favorite team, is balling out.
That's true.
Matter of fact,
but also check this out.
They are 1 and 2 in receiving yards.
Also check this out. But check this out. You have to also context is everything, right? So
what's the context?
Sam Darnold, with not a Legion of Boom defense, okay, getting mad targets to everybody. Cooper Kupp's eating. Everyone's eating over there in Seattle at receiver right now, right?
And Jack Smith and Jigba is about to win. It might be.
He is.
Okay.
He's gonna be all pro, first team for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. Is DK Metcalf gonna be the first team all pro?
No, he's not.
Okay.
No, he's not. He's not.
Okay.
But what's the conversation? He's in a new system. Not as good team as Seattle, but he's still playing, man.
George Pickens in a new system.
With Dak Prescott. Absolutely. And he's a WR1 bona fide.
Okay, so guess what? Can I tell you something? DK Metcalf is a 6'4", 235-pound wide receiver that runs a 4.3, okay? Now, I've seen Randy Moss make terrible quarterbacks look better than what they were.
We all have.
So how come DK Metcalf can't do that with Aaron Rodgers?
Man, I don't know. It's the Steelers, man.
What? Hold on, what? Huh?
So you're telling me he's a what's your argument? I know you have a thing against DK Metcalf. I understand that.
Is that DK Metcalf was overrated by you?
No, he wasn't overrated. I said
time ago.
No. Don't misquote me. No.
Huh?
Don't misquote me.
No.
These are my words. Eric, you're a witness. Let me finish.
When
my words were him and Tyler Lockett were better receiver combo than Cortland Sutton.
You named
the other guy in Denver. And the other guy in Denver. Those are my words. And for 4 years straight, they outperformed them. Right? Am I right or wrong?
Tyler Lockett did, not DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf is a limited wide receiver.
No. What I said was they were better receiving combo than the Denver receivers. Did I say that? Yes or no?
Yes, you did say that.
Okay. And did they outperform them receiving yards wise those 3 years against Denver's receivers?
Yeah, but still DK Metcalf.
Okay, they did. I didn't say he was the I didn't say he was the greatest.
DK Metcalf got no more receivers.
I said that was a better receiving combo.
Receiver.
I said that was a better receiving combo at that time. And you argue me because of his route tree.
No more receiver. Tyler Lockett led the whole charge.
I said that's a better combo.
Tyler
you fought me because you said DK couldn't run the whole route tree. I said I don't care about that. They're a better combo. That was my argument. Verbatim.
Tyler Lockett is better than DK Metcalf.
Have it that way. The argument was, for the record,
excuse me,
those two were better combo than Denver's two. And that proved to be true. 3 years straight.
The only reason why is because Denver receivers going to stay healthy, especially Patrick.
The best ability is availability.
I understand that.
That was my whole stance. I didn't say he was number one. I didn't say he can run everything in the route tree. I said they were better combo.
I ain't saying about route tree.
Oh, yes, you did. Yes, you did.
When?
Eric
is eating Lay's.
You say you can run 2-3 routes. I didn't care about that. I said they're better receiver combo. That was my stance. Brandon
Here we go,
said
right
nothing about
Hey,
Roundtree when it came to DK.
is just big but
That's a lie.
unimpressive.
That's a lie. You attack his
Uh,
Roundtree.
He's fast, but
I
he's
tend to agree
limited.
with
Thank
Society
you.
Breakdown 7. I tend to agree with that. DK Metcalf has a limited route tree.
Right, and you said it too, Brandon. Don't you had, and I don't care. I just said this receiving combo, these two, better than these two. That's all I said.
Brandon,
Huh?
this is your fault.
What's my fault?
You took us off on that tangent, and you did that to poke at Steve. And when Steve took the bait, that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna get these chips because I knew Steve was gonna be on the show tonight. I always keep snacks right here because y'all go at it about.
But I was right. That was the conversation. That was the conversation.
I was like, yeah. I said I'm gonna just let y'all. Okay. All right. So
let's move on.
Shedeur Sanders.
Shedeur Sanders. Hey, what's going on with Jerry Jeudy, man?
He need to shut up.
I agree.
That's what happens.
Yeah, Jerry Jeudy complained about Shedeur Sanders and stuff. Listen, man.
Now, he was in Shedeur Sanders' face on the sideline.
This not the time to be doing that.
And let's not forget that Jerry Jeudy was one of the reasons why they didn't score a touchdown the previous week because he got stripped on what should have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
You dropping the ball because you showboating. But here's the thing. Here's my thing. You get in Shedeur's face about not getting the ball or this, that, and the third in a game with 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. First thing. Second thing, the hypocrisy that's involved in that is what I can't stand. I can't stand hypocrisy or stuff that don't make sense. You didn't say you didn't go off on Joe Flacco. You didn't go off on Dylan Gabriel. But you're gonna get in Shedeur Sanders' face. And we are probably the last people that's touching on it because all this week other people have addressed this on their podcast, on their lives and everything. So we are not in the minority with this belief that Jerry Jeudy is somewhat of a joke for the way he behaved. I lost respect for Jerry Jeudy when I lost respect for Jerry Jeudy when he disrespected Steve Smith a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Steve Smith is like 1 foot in the Hall of Fame. And he's done way more than you've done. At this point in if you took Jerry Jeudy's career from his rookie season till now, and you took Steve Smith's career from rookie season to that many years, not even the rest of it, just those many years, Steve Smith's done vastly more. So the fact that he was disrespectful to Steve Smith, and I was really shocked at how Steve Smith handled it. He handled it like a true professional.
He really did.
But I digress because Steve Smith, he'd be quick to jump and beat somebody up. He didn't beat up dudes twice his size, but the way he handled it was great. But I digress. Jerry Jeudy right now is he needs to go ahead and find Ringling Brothers and them because he's a clown. Period. That's what I believe. Because you don't do that. 1, you don't do that to your quarterback. 2, you don't do that to your rookie quarterback. 3, you don't do that to your rookie quarterback in that type of game condition. Shedeur was out there fighting for his doggone life.
Not to mention, this is still the same quarterback that the franchise act like they don't want to put out there on the football field. So he's your best option. And he's your best option moving forward. You need to be there to be supportive of him. You need to just do your
job and let him do what he do, man.
Yeah,
as a rookie, just let him. He's getting his footing in the system with the first team. Let him do what he do, man. Like you're not helping by doing that.
And the conditions in that particular game,
they were bad.
If you're watching the game and you're going from left to right watching, the wind was blowing this way.
Right.
If you're going this way, you're not going to complete too many passes. The one touchdown that Shedeur Sanders did throw was with the wind. Everything else he struggled with. And I'm like, okay.
And not Jerry Jeudy, but Shedeur Sanders is not the type of quarterback that can throw the football into the wind. There's only so many quarterbacks that can do that. There's a reason why Josh Allen's in Buffalo because when he was in Wyoming at college, he was able to throw that football through the wind.
That's big sky country. Ain't nothing but wind out there.
Right. Ben Roethlisberger, when he was at Miami of Ohio, there was a reason why Pittsburgh took him because he was able to throw that football through the wind. Shedeur Sanders, not his game.
That's not his game.
But if the conditions are not so extreme like that, man, what you call it? Shedeur Sanders is going to have a much better game, and Jerry Jeudy should have been patient. He should have been patient.
Now, moving on, staying on the topic of Shedeur Sanders, but kind of pivoting a little bit. Kevin Stefanski didn't show early on any support for Shedeur Sanders. He was like, he sounded so reluctant to want to start Shedeur Sanders, which is a glaring indictment that Dillon Gabriel was his pick. And I believe that the front office, Shedeur Sanders was the front office's pick. And I believe now, because he's kind of changed his tune, if you catch some of the press conferences, you know, Shedeur is going to be our starter moving forward. We're going to evaluate him for the rest of the season and see where we are and and we're going to keep going. And just, okay, you didn't change your tune. You know why? Because the people above you say, hey, let him play. Because he's clearly shown that he's a better quarterback than
He's the best quarterback. He's the best option.
He's the best option. Now, here's another crazy thing. Because Cleveland is just one big Real Housewives of Cleveland soap opera. Now, they've just opened Deshaun Watson's practice window.
I'm surprised they even did that.
So, we got 5 games left in the season. We're supposed to be evaluating, notice the air quotes, Shedeur Sanders, but they opened Deshaun Watson's practice window. That's some peculiar goings on. Now, what one person could look at it and say is maybe, okay, they're evaluating who's going to go at the end of the season, who's going to stay.
It should be obvious.
It should be obvious. It should be clear. However, again, what do we call Cleveland? Teams like Cleveland?
Poverty franchise.
Poverty franchise, have poverty franchise mentalities and do poverty franchise things. So we gonna do, for those of you who are old school movie watchers and have ever seen the movie The Color Purple, we just gonna sit back and see what color the wall be next. If you know, you know. So it's just drama to watch. It's must-see TV, not for the quality of the football, but just for the drama and the turmoil within that organization. If you like that type of stuff, if you like drama, you like turmoil, yes, bottom dwellers. Poverty franchise, interchangeable. By the way, Society Breakdown, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and check us out every week. But I digress. But if you like drama, you like that Real Housewives type of stuff, that real messy stuff, Ratchet TV, the Cleveland Browns organization is Ratchet TV right now. And if you like that kind of stuff, just follow. Don't watch the games. Just follow the headlines of everything that's going on behind the scenes, because that's a hot mess. Steve?
No, you nailed it, man. I mean, I have nothing to add to it. They're being Cleveland Browns, man.
No, they really are.
I mean, I think this is definitely Stefanski's last year should be. The thing is, they have a good roster in place, man. I mean, to be honest, even
that defense is legit.
Let's just go to last year and the year before. They had
Schwartz is doing his job.
Yeah, let's just say
he's doing his job.
Last year, the year before, man. I mean, they had one of the best rosters, talent-wise, in the league. They did. On both sides of the ball. You know, it's but coaches got put together, man. I mean, I think Stefanski has to go. Even the post when Shedeur got the win against the Raiders, you know, the locker room speech, man, barely acknowledged him, man. That's you don't do that, man. His time is up, in my opinion. It should be up.
It should be. It should be. They need to get a head coach in there that's going to believe in Shedeur Sanders, move forward with Shedeur Sanders, and put an offense together for him and put players around him.
Yeah, they need an offensive-minded guy to come in there.
One thing I think that definitely needs to happen, and it's unorthodox. It doesn't happen all the time, but very very often at all is whoever the new coach is. If they get rid of Stefanski, if they bring in a new coach, offensive minded coach, blah blah blah, that coach needs to retain Jim Schwartz as defensive coordinator. So,
I agree.
You're not going.
I agree.
You're not going nowhere. You come stay here because Cleveland has had a top 5 defense the last 5-6 years.
Yo, Garrett just had 5 sacks on Sunday.
Miles Garrett is on pace to break in the single.
Yes,
he got 1 sack. Yeah. He got 1 sack this past Sunday, but the Sunday before that,
he had 4 or 5 sacks.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah, 5.
Oh, okay. 5. Okay.
Yeah, he's on a pace to what his pace is 26, I believe.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
it really is.
He's gonna shatter that record. It's not even funny. And kudos to Brock Purdy for just escaping. The 49ers, the offensive line, and Brock Purdy only allowed 1 sack from Myles Garrett, and I was like, that was amazing. It's so crazy that Myles Garrett is such a transcendent player that if you let him have 1 sack a game, that's a win for you.
Yeah.
It's even if he gets 1, that's a win for you.
Yes,
you're doing a lot of stuff right, and he had 2 forced fumbles against the Raiders that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
yeah, man.
Yeah, Myles Garrett is a straight animal. Animal.
He's sick with it. So it's he's on another level, and it's kind of tragic when you think about it because all of that great talent is going to waste because it's not going toward a championship.
Yeah,
he stayed for the money because they gave him all that money. He stayed for the money instead of trying to go somewhere where he could win a championship. And now I think he's stuck in Cleveland, probably for the rest of his prime at least.
Yeah, definitely the rest of his prime, which is sad.
And he'll be on another team after he's gonna hit his decline. He's put together a Hall of Fame career already.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's done. Especially this year. If he hits that mark this year, which there's a 95% chance he will. It's funny I'm saying 95, that's his jersey number. But there's a 95% chance he's gonna do that. And that's gonna sign his ticket to Canton. But it's kind of tragic when you think about it because he's on it. All of that great defensive play by him is not going to go towards a championship, not even an AFC championship, not even a division championship. It's sad. He's going to go down as one of the greatest players to probably never win a ring.
Yeah, he has 121 sacks. I just looked at it right now. He ranks. Where does he rank? 23rd. So he's going to jet up because Simeon Rice at 122. So he's going to pass Rice, Mathis, Freeney. He's more likely going to play next year. So yeah, he's going to end up. He could easily end up in the top 10 next year because he's at 121.5 with about 5 games left, and Richard Dennis at 137.5. So he could end up in the top 10 next year. He really could.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on.
Dan Campbell. Let's go to NFC North.
Yeah, Dan Campbell. Switch it over to the NFC North. Dan Campbell I heard someone say this, and I can't remember who said it, but it was so poignant. He said that Dan Campbell is going to fourth down his team out of the playoffs. And I tend to agree with it tremendously because there are so many times he let his ego basically just take over instead of common sense and logic.
I said that.
Take the points.
Hold on. Let me say this, E. I said this 2 years ago when Dallas beat Detroit. And people say I was hating on him. I was just happy that we won. No, this dude literally, his ego lost them the game.
It really did.
Remember, it was a 2-point he went for?
Yeah.
Penalty, he went for it again when they got back on the 8. They could have tied it. But when I called out his emotion, his ego, I was the bad guy. I said, no, this is a problem, man. We could have went to overtime.
It has
momentum.
It has exacerbated over time, where it's to a point now where it's like, God, what game was that? I think they went for it. Like 3 times and missed all 4 fourth down conversions, and it cost them that game. And it's like
yeah.
And the thing is, not only that he's going for it, it's not just that he's going for it, but it's also the fact that the play choice to try to get this conversion is ridiculous. It's like the most high percentage, low percentage. The most low percentage type of play that he could call, and that's why they don't convert, because the probability of them converting with that particular play is lower than it would be with, say, another play. It's like a lot of people say, well, he's missing Ben Johnson. He's like, but these are not no-brainer type of these are no-brainer type of calls, I should say. You don't need a offensive mastermind to maybe get 3 yards. And it's some of the simplest stuff, and a lot of stuff is open. But no, I'm going to throw
But also on 4th and 3, I'm not really going for it. I'm just going to either punt the football, depending on where I'm at on the field, or I'm kicking a field goal. That's what I'm doing. Unless the situation calls for you to go for it, and that's usually in the 4th quarter, and you're down by like 5 points. Okay, fine, you go for it.
Right.
But the rest of the time, I'm either punting again. Where am I on the field? I'm either punting or I'm kicking a field goal.
And yes, and I think we speak about this. Coaching is important. Okay, you lose Ben Johnson, Eric Glenn. You have to bring in great coaches to replace those guys. You can't just think you have a system going, you have the morale up in the locker room, same roster in place for the most part, that's going to be good enough. You have to bring in great coaches to try to supplement losing those guys. And
but
I'm not saying they're hard to replace, but it's like, dude, like, and it's not like when they had them, they were killing everybody, because they weren't killing everybody. They had a good thing going, but it's like, dude, like, coaching is important. You got to bring in the best guys you can still.
Now, I will kind of defend this in the fact that, and I agree with you. I'm not pushing back at you. Replacing 7 coaches, including both coordinators, is difficult.
Yes,
that is difficult. 2 coordinators, 5 position coaches. I mean, they move some guys up, fine, but. Because, like, the defensive line coach, he's the defensive coordinator in New England right now.
Sure.
The guy that was defensive line coach in Detroit last year, he's the defensive coordinator. And, but also, again, when you should be punting the football, kicking a field goal, or even kicking an extra point versus going for a 2-point conversion, that's a little stuff that's hurting you. I understand replacing coaches. Yes, that's crucial. Okay, I would never go against that. But when you go for that 2-point conversion, and I told this before we went live, I said, listen, when you go for 2 and you miss, when you should have gone for the extra point, now you're chasing points, because that's how you're going to coach. You're like, damn, I missed that point, and and you're pressing.
You're putting yourself behind off schedule.
He's done that for years. He's done that for years.
And that's going to hurt you. That's going to hurt you offensively, and that's going to hurt you defensively, because now you're coaching the game differently. If you'd have just gotten that extra point like you should have.
Yep.
And also, like I said, when you go for it on 4th down versus punting the football or kicking a field goal and you fail, you putting the other team in great field position. That's putting stress on your defense. And that secondary has been banged up over the last few weeks, and they're still banged up, especially for tomorrow's game. Including one of the players had a suspension 2 or 3 games ago.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I want to share something with you guys. It's fun because while you guys were talking, I was looking this up. So, of the last 3 games that the Lions lost, those last 3 games, these important games because 2 of them were divisional, they were all lost by 1 score.
And see,
that's the difference. If you maybe punt this time with your defense, because the defense, it's not great, but it's solid. Because they have a lot of injuries. But if you perhaps punt in certain situations, or you kick the field goal in certain situations, we having a different conversation.
You probably are.
That's how you win championships.
They probably beat the Vikings about 5 weeks ago. They probably beat the Eagles. They only lost 16-9. Okay, they probably beat the Packers. That was 31-24. So, like, 1 score games, either a touchdown, field goal. But
it's little stuff like that hurts you.
Those little things like that is what basically is when that person. I wish I would remember who said it because I would credit them for that quote. But they basically said, it was another content creator. They basically said Dan Campbell is going to 4th down his team out of the playoffs. And right now, hey man,
the thing is, until he changes, which doesn't look like he's going to, this is going to be a continued problem. This is going to be a continued problem.
Because as of right now, Detroit is I lost my place. Yeah, Detroit is the 8th seed. They're on the outside looking in.
And honestly, things don't look good for them tomorrow night against Dallas.
No, they don't. Which is a great segue because we can go into Pando's picks.
There we go.
Yeah,
Let's hit it.
Okay, last week was kind of rough, y'all. But like I always say, I never go under 500. So again, this is another 500 week for me. I went 8-8 on my picks. Some of them were like, who saw that coming? And then others of them were pick'ems that just went the other way. Because pick'ems always go, they could go either way. If I put pick'em on a game, they could go either way. And a lot of them did. But looking to bounce back this week because the picture's getting a lot clearer. First off, Thursday night, tomorrow night, the Cowboys travel to Detroit to play the Lions. I got the Cowboys winning this game. I just don't trust Dan Campbell at all. 1. Number 2, the Lions' defense is still so decimated, especially the back end.
Yes.
Is decimated by injuries. I don't think they're going to be able to cover CeeDee Lamb, especially George Pickens, who, in my opinion, right now is the best receiver on Dallas's roster. That's a really controversial take, but I'm going to stand 10 toes down on it. George Pickens is the best receiver on that team this year. Period. With all CDs and his drops and his inconsistencies, George Pickens has been incredibly consistent.
And let me say this about George Pickens real quick. He is a football player whose confidence never wavers. I mean, he just stays even.
It's NFL young boy.
Well, we said what?
NFL young boy.
Whatever. He has his confidence just stays up here. He don't care who's covering him.
I mean, you look at him and CD both getting 100 yards each a game. CD just came back a few weeks ago. It's 2 number 1 receivers. I mean, in my opinion, I think they're the best receiver combo in the league.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that.
Right now, yes.
Right
because
yeah.
I mean, it's even better.
He hasn't crashed out, which was our worry. He hasn't crashed out.
Yeah. So I got the Cowboys beating the Lions. What the? Okay, so I got the.
I know where you got it from.
Kurt Franklin. That's.
Yeah.
We all know that.
You with me? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but that was left field. But okay, so y'all get the Cowboys.
It makes sense though.
I think it could be a 2-score game. This ain't a pick 'em. This is what it is because
It should.
like,
Oh my God, dog.
I feel like the Lions can go tit for tat, but the issue is they're gonna get in the fourth down somewhere where Dan Campbell's gonna have the opportunity to kick a field goal to keep that game close. They're going to attempt the fourth down. They're going to miss that fourth down, and then things are going to snowball from there.
Dallas got just play football, man. Just play football. Just play the way you've been
And
playing.
then Amon-Ra, he's still questionable to play this game as well.
That's another issue.
I don't think he plays. I really don't think he plays.
So you're looking at a decimated secondary. You're looking at Amon-Ra St. Brown that's not going to play, and a Dan Campbell that just can't get out of his own way. So these are all the reasons why I picked Dallas to win this game.
And can I say something else too? Even though, and I'm not sure they plan on that, their key offensive linemen are also questionable. I've seen the injury report today. Decker, Panesu, and Glasgow are all questionable for tomorrow's game as well. So not sure who's playing, who's not playing.
Yeah,
Frank Ragnow too. I'm just joking.
Yo,
I was about to say. Okay.
Yo, Frank Ragnow.
That wasn't right.
Crazy.
I'm coming out of retirement. The doctor like, no, you're not. I'm not. No, you're not. Go back to the couch. So,
That's crazy.
Next game. This is one of those again. Who gives a damn bowls? But I think a lot of people are gonna be. I promise you, the Browns viewership has gone up since they named Shedeur Sanders the starter. Okay, the Titans are against the Browns. I like the Browns to win this because the Titans are running neck and neck with the Raiders for the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah, man, because guess what? The Tennessee Titans are
trash, 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 I am trash.
Okay, so yeah, I got the Browns over the Titans because I think the Browns defense is gonna do enough. I think they're gonna turn the Titans over at least once or twice, put them in real, good field position where Shedeur will be able to get some stuff done. If not, some quick field goals and stuff like that. I think it'll be a low scoring game, but who knows? Shedeur might lose his freaking mind in that game depending on what the weather conditions are like. He might lose his freaking mind in that game. Seriously, okay. So yeah, Browns over Titans. Next game is Seattle and the Falcons, the Hawks and the Falcons. They're going to be playing in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It don't matter. It don't matter. Kirk Cousins about to Kirk Cousins up this game against that Seattle defense. And, Sam Darnold's not going to do a whole lot. Hey, chick. He's not going to be able to have to do a whole lot. I think Seattle, again, hot take. Make sure y'all watch this. Right now, Seattle's the best team in the NFC West. And that's coming from a Niners fan. And that pains me so much to say that, but I got to keep it real. Because San Francisco's so banged up. Now, San Francisco was healthy. It'd be dog walking everybody. But because San Francisco's so banged up, I fervently believe that Seattle is the best team in the NFC West. And I think time is going to prove me right on that. The Rams just lost to Carolina. Okay? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
And all the Rams this and all the Rams that, and Sam Darnold turned the ball over. Not Sam Darnold, excuse me. Matt Stafford turned the ball over 3 times.
Your favorite quarterback.
Yeah. What I said. What did I say? All you got to do is catch him. He throws picks every single game. You just got to catch him. He turned the ball over 3 times in that game against Carolina and then the Rams defense turned around and made Bryce Young look like Michael Vick in his prime. Okay, and it was like, really? So, yes, I like the Seahawks to probably win the division. And I also like the Seahawks to definitely decimate the Falcons. Now, I would love to see the Falcons beat the Seahawks because I hate the Seahawks, but that's not gonna happen. Okay. Next game, I got the Colts over the Jaguars. I think the Colts are gonna go down to. I think the Colts are gonna go down to. And yeah, then Duval. Yeah, Liam Cohen's never gonna lay that down. Because it sounded like he was asking Duval instead of saying Duval. But I think the Colts are going to beat the Jags. Again, Trevor Lawrence, I still.
Trevor Lawrence should have never gotten that contract.
Here's the thing, and it irritates the holy hell out of me. The talking heads will blast someone like a Brock Purdy, but give a pass to a Trevor Lawrence or to a Tagovailoa, who both got big deals and have not come remotely.
Tua is a limited quarterback. The only thing Tua can do is throw the ball over the middle about 10, 15 yards, and that's about it. I'm sorry, 5, 10 yards. I'm sorry.
I'm just addressing the hypocrisy.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that's all Tua can do. As far as Trevor Lawrence, dude.
Generational talent,
generational what? Generational nothing. Dude is just he's just there. Okay? Trevor Lawrence is there literally just collecting a paycheck right now. At quarterback.
But you got the same people that won't say a doggone word about these guys and will say Brock Purdy didn't deserve that contract. But Brock Purdy's been to 2 NFC championships and a Super Bowl. Neither one of these other guys have even won a playoff game. But that's what I just want to address the hypocrisy. That's the elephant in the room. It's hypocrisy. Brock Purdy has a bad game against who was it? Jacksonville. Has a bad game against Jacksonville. Oh, you need to bench him and play Mac Jones.
No, sir.
Matt Stafford turns the ball over 3 times against Carolina. Ain't nobody calling for Jimmy Garoppolo to start. Hypocrisy. I'm moving on. So yeah, that's the Colts over the Jaguars. This next game is a pick'em.
Okay.
The Commanders at the Vikings. The Commanders made a really good showing against Denver.
Yeah.
Really solid defense. And JJ McCarthy is god awful.
Yes, he is.
So those things are going to cancel each other out. And at the end of the day, I think I kind of like the Commanders.
I do too. I really do too.
I like the Commanders better in this game than the Vikings, even though because the Vikings defense is kind of falling off.
It has.
And I believe if the Commanders can hold their own with Marcus Mariota against Denver when it was actually a game in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm. And they went to overtime.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, went to overtime. If they can do that against Denver's defense, they can do that against Minnesota's defense, even though the mystique of Minnesota at home used to be a thing. It's gone now. Because, we always talked about it, man. Minnesota's hard to beat in their own building. Mm-hmm. That mystique is gone.
Yeah.
So I got it's a pick'em game, but I got the Commanders winning that game. Moving on. Bengals at the Bills. The Bills have got to right the ship. They have got to right the ship if they want to be taken seriously because New England ain't stopping, ain't slowing down. The only thing that's stopping New England right now is the freaking bye week. That's it. They on a bye week. That's the only thing that's stopping New England. Is New England. I sat down and watched that New England and Giants game, and it was like the Giants said something about every player on New England's team defense, somebody, they mamas. They rocked Jackson Dart because Jackson Dart was dumb for not getting out of bounds. And then the dude that wanted to fight, number 84 for the Giants.
Yeah, he got leveled.
He got rocked the very next down.
Yeah, I saw that.
They was like, oh, no, you could get it too. Oh, you thought it was just the quarterback, sir? You got to get this work too. It was just bodies flying all over the place with that New England defense, Mike Vrabel style of defense. And, and then Drake Mays out there throwing dimes. And it's like, people who hated New England back during the Brady era, I've got to be sick to their stomach right now because New England is good again. They're that good again this soon. And I said all that to say this because I'm making my picks. The Bills have got to win this game against the Bengals just to keep pace to maybe get a wild card.
Yeah.
Because New England owns that division right now. That's what it's looking
and they're gonna own that division for a while.
And I know Joe Burrow's playing, and there's like people talking about, well, the Bengals have an outside shot again. Man, stop it.
Cincinnati don't have a defense.
Cincinnati doesn't have a defense. Joe Burrow does not belong out there. Okay. Right now, Cincinnati is the 12th seed. Okay. They're 4-8. Okay. Joe Burrow has no business being out there. Joe Burrow, sit down, rest up, and get ready for next season. Because what can happen is you can get injured worse for games that are really meaningless. Now, mathematically, they mean something, but in the grand scheme of things, in being realistic, they don't mean anything. Joe Burrow should not be out there.
I agree.
And now, granted, the Bills' defense is questionable. However, there's something that we didn't talk about. We're going to talk about real quick. Darius Slay, who was released by
we didn't talk about
Pittsburgh Steelers, is now going to be in the secondary for the Buffalo Bills. Now, how quick he can get ready for this game, I don't know. But Darius Slay is not the player he used to be, but is he still a solid player that they could help a secondary? Absolutely. I fervently believe that. But I'm just picking the Bills because the Bills need this game more than the Bengals do. They need it. We're going to find out what kind of intestinal fortitude that the Bills have. We're going to find out this week in this game because they really out there fighting for their lives at this particular point. The Bills are, right now, they're the 7th seed. They're the 7th seed at 8-4.
That's great.
Yeah.
The Bills are 7th seed.
Yes.
The Steelers and Ravens are shell themselves right now.
Yeah.
Kansas City may not make the playoffs. AFC is different this year.
It's different. It's very different.
AFC is different this year, and I don't think any of us predicted some of this stuff.
No, I don't. None of us did. None of us saw this coming. This is some different stuff.
Yeah,
it's different. So with that being said, I had the Bills beating the Bengals. Next game, divisional matchup between the Saints and the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are at home. Buccaneers are kind of fighting for their lives because Carolina's creeping on the come up.
Yes, they are.
And let's be real, the Carolina Panthers are on the bye this week, but I'm gonna talk about them real quick. Carolina, we don't know who Carolina is. We really don't know who is Carolina this year? Because 1 minute they look like Carolina, then the next minute they look like Carolina. And it's like, wow. But because the standings are so close in the NFC South, Carolina still got a shot. They're the 10 seed. They're 7-6. The Bucs are 7-5. Let's think about that now. So you fool around there and let the Saints upset the Bucs. Guess who's got the lead in the NFC South?
Who?
While sitting on the couch on a bye week. The Panthers.
That's true.
So the Bucs, with that being said, because again, I said all that to say this, talking about this particular game, the Bucs have to win this game. Divisional matchups are crazy in the South, but the Bucs are in a must-win situation to keep Carolina off their back. That's what's going on. So I've got the Bucs beating the Saints at home. Next game, this is another pick'em game. We talked about this before. This used to be a game that everybody will watch, regardless of whether you were a fan of either team. You just wanted to see some good, hard-hitting football. The Steelers at the Ravens. Now, this is a pick'em game, but for a different reason. It's literally to see who screws up the least. It's no longer who's the dominant. Who is like watching two big bucks fighting during the rut. You know, two big elk, two big whitetail deer, or two bulls in the middle of the pasture, headbutting. That's what it used to be. Now is it's like watching two hamsters headbutt each other. So, they're just the shells of themselves. Like you've been saying, it's a pick'em game, but I'm gonna go with the Ravens simply because the Ravens are at home. They're at M&T. That's it. Because this could go either way. It's a travesty how the quality of this game has gone down from these two franchises. So Ravens over Steelers. Dolphins and the Jets. Now Tyrod Taylor started for the Jets. He pulled an upset last week. Miami, again, not fighting for the playoff live, but Mike McDaniel's coaching for his job. And we haven't really been paying attention because Miami's really out of it. Mm-hmm. But Miami has been playing a better quality of football.
They have.
These last few games. I think Miami does just enough to beat the Jets. So I got the Fins over the Jets. My next game, this next pick is the Stone Cold Lock of the Week.
Just real quick, I got the Jets over the Dolphins.
Okay.
Let's go. Stone Cold Lock.
The Broncos are traveling to Allegiant Stadium to hang their banner and make it their stadium. The Broncos are going to annihilate the Raiders. Okay, that I don't see any way that the Raiders can win this game because they are absolute dog water. They are actually in a tussle. They are in a battle with the Tennessee Titans to prove who is the worst team in the league this year. The absolute worst. Geno Smith is going to Geno Smith it up against the secondary. The pass rush is going to give him hell as well. Not to mention the Raiders never really had a good offensive line to begin with. Bo Nix is not going to have to do as much. Harvey is going to run the ball, and he's going to do well. I think he's going to go at least 100 yards from scrimmage. May not be 100 yards rushing, but he's going to get 100 yards from scrimmage. So if you got RJ Harvey on your fantasy team, go ahead and start him. If you have Denver's defense, start them. Denver's kind of salty for going into overtime with the Commanders because they kind of played down to the competition and they realized, hey, we can't do that no more. This is a divisional game. Let's put these fools to bed early. So I got the Broncos just annihilating the Raiders, and that's going to be my Stone Cold Lock of the Week. Next game, Rams at Cardinals. Another divisional game. I don't think the Rams lose 2 in a row. As much as I would love to see that, I would absolutely love to see that, but it's not going to happen. Is it possible? Sure. Is it probable? No. So I got the Rams over the Cardinals. Next game is a pick'em. This is a good one. This is probably the game of the week. The Bears at the Packers.
That's going to be a good one.
I'm sorry. Yeah, the Bears at the Packers. Okay. Fun fact, the Bears are the number 1 seed right now. However, their quarterback has the worst completion percentage of all the starting quarterbacks in the league. Make it make sense. Their defense is very opportunistic. I think Ben Johnson's going to draw up some stuff for that Packers defense, which is playing really well right now.
Yes.
I like the Bears. This is a pick 'em, but I like the Bears to go into Lambeau and pull an upset. I'm not going to be hurt either way if either team wins, but I like the Bears over the Packers. Next game, Texans at the Chiefs. The Chiefs are reeling right now. They're fighting for their playoff lives, and the Texans are surging. The Chiefs are waning right now. The Texans defense is just stifling. I like the run game.
Yo, you froze up. You froze up. Yeah. Hey, folks, Is E frozen on your end? Let us know what's up. Because on my end, Eric is frozen. So let me know what's up with Eric on y'all end. Folks in the chat, please. We're gonna get back to panels, the rest of panels picks when he's finished. When he comes back. Okay, yeah. Carl Stewart said he's frozen. Oh, bad weather in Houston. Okay. Thank you, Donald. Bad weather in Houston. All right. Yeah, he's frozen. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So Carl Stewart and Donald, thank you, gentlemen, for letting me know that he's frozen. Bad weather right now. But yeah, he got the Bears versus Packers. He was talking about that. That's gonna be an interesting game. Because I wonder how he was about to say something about Ben Johnson. So I'm gonna say something till he comes back. Ben Johnson put up 200-yard running backs against Philadelphia's defense. And it would not surprise me. It would not surprise me if they attack Michael Parsons when it comes to running the football. I think that's what's going to end up happening. And some way, somehow, Green Bay's going to hide him. And I don't think they're prepared to do that. And I've seen some people break down the Bears' run game when they play Philadelphia. Ben Johnson has some, complex run game designs that will confuse any defense. And I'm really mean confusing defense because, he has somebody moving in motion. He faked a handoff and end up handing off to a second football player. And what's up? Welcome back. No, I was just filling in what you were saying because you was about to say something about Ben Johnson, and I was saying that I think Ben Johnson is going to attack Michael Parsons in the run game. Okay, because
I agree with that.
Because Parsons is one lightweight.
He's not very good against the run.
He's not a run stopper. Ben Johnson put up 200-yard running backs against Philadelphia, and that defense, which to me is impressive. And I've seen the breakdown of some of Ben Johnson's run game, and it was complex because you would get a guy moving in motion, and then he would fake a handoff to one guy and then hand it off to the other guy, and that guy's like 9 yards down the field before he even barely gets touched. Not tackle, but touch. So it wouldn't surprise me if Ben Johnson just runs at Michael Parsons and say, hey, look, I'm not going to let you beat me by me throwing the football 30, 40 times. You're going to have to stop my run game. And it's going to be you, defensive end from Penn State, that's going to stop this run game.
Yeah, I think, he's kind of a one-trick pony. Michael Parsons, he's a great pass rusher, but he doesn't really
stop the run.
He doesn't stop the run well. If you run at him, that's when it becomes a problem. That's been that way ever since his days in Dallas.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But going back to my pick so we can finish up, I got the Bears over the Packers, but the Texans over the Chiefs. I was saying the Texans are surging, the Chiefs are waning. The Chiefs have had trouble stopping the run. I think Houston goes in there and runs the ball. I think the defense pretty much – they're going to get revenge from that playoff game when the referees screwed them, unless they screw them again, where Houston had an opportunity to beat the Chiefs. I believe that was either last year or year before last. Yeah.
I think you was frozen when you said the Bears and Packers. So I don't know if we got your pick on that. Can we get your pick on that one?
Oh, I got the Bears.
Okay, you got the Bears over Packers. Okay, I just want to make sure because I want to make sure that we didn't miss anything.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. And I'll go through all of them again. But
okay.
I got the Texans in an upset against the Chiefs because I believe the Chiefs are like a 3.5 to 4-point favorite. But I got the Texans pulling the upset there.
Yeah, because that wide nine defense, man, they're going to keep that Chiefs offense in a cage.
Yeah, I think they can do it. I think DeMeco Ryans is man for the job. And Yeah, I like the Texans defense. That secondary, I think they're gonna put Rashee Rice and Worthy in check. They're gonna be
Of course.
Travis Kelce is not the guy he used to be.
He's a shell of himself.
He's a shell of himself. So I'm looking at Jalen Petrie or Azeez Al-Shaair clamping him down.
Yeah.
He's not going to do a whole lot in that game.
Right.
Last game, Monday night, the Eagles traveled to LA to SoFi Stadium to play the Chargers. Again, the Eagles are they're on a downslide too, and if they're going to right the ship, they got to win this game. Even though it's not a conference game, they need as many wins as they can get because there's so many teams that are creeping up on them right now.
Yeah, you don't want to keep losing. You don't want to be losing right now.
You do not want to be losing at this point. If you're in the hunt or I'll put it like this, if you're in the playoff picture and you don't want to lose any footing. If you're in the hunt, you definitely don't want to lose any footing because right now teams like Dallas, Detroit, Carolina, even though they got a bye, those three teams, they can't afford to lose anymore. They cannot afford to lose anymore.
That's true.
And then the teams are in the bottom three, Seattle, Green Bay, and San Francisco, they can't afford to lose anymore because the whole thing can flip on its head. The Eagles are now the third seed. They're the third seed.
Wow.
They lose this game, they could slip. They could slip all the way down to maybe the fourth seed. That could literally happen and then get passed up by whoever's on top of the NFC, the second team on top of the NFC. Because the Rams are already on top of them. So you can see something flip depending on some of these games where the 7 seed could go as high as 2 or maybe as high as 6, which is San Francisco. Or you can see the bottom drop out for maybe a team like Green Bay.
It's a crazy season.
Yeah, so but I got the Eagles winning this game because, again, we talked about it in previous years, championship pedigree. The Eagles got championship pedigree. If nothing else, they have championship pedigree. So I like the Eagles beating the Chargers in a close one. And let's recap. So I got the Cowboys over the Lions. I got the Browns over the Titans. Seahawks over the Falcons. Colts over the Jags. Commanders over the Vikings. This is a pick'em game. Bills over Bengals. Bucks over Saints. Ravens over Steelers. Pick'em game. The Dolphins over the Jets. The Broncos over the Raiders. Stone cold lock of the week. Rams over the Cardinals. Bears over the Packers. Pick'em. Texas over the Chiefs. Upset special. And Eagles over the Chargers. Doors of the church are now open.
Society breakdown. I think it is still too early because everything's just so close right now, and this has been a crazy football season.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna come all the way down to week 18.
It probably will. It probably will.
It's way too early to tell right now because so much, like I just said, so much could flip in just this week.
Yeah,
week 14.
Yeah,
and so much could flip this week, and in the very next week, everything could go right back to where it was.
Mm-hmm. So you just don't know. You don't know right now.
And this is from 1 seed all the way to 7 seed. Nothing is set in stone. Nobody's locked in. Nobody's locked in either conference. So now the probability of your higher seeds, like your 1 through your 3s, their probability of still remaining in the playoffs is still high. There are a lot of teams that still have an 80% chance of making the playoffs or higher. Okay.
Now,
but seeding is a different story.
New England should be a lock.
I think, New England, I think they're in the 90 percentile, 95 percentile of making the playoffs.
Yeah.
New England, Chicago, the Rams.
Chicago is the number 1 seed in the NFC for the first time since the Lovie Smith era.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
congratulations to them. I know Twan. If I don't know if he's watching right now, but if he catches us on the rebound, congratulations to the Bears right now for being currently the number 1 seed in the NFC for the first time since the Lovie Smith era.
But you got to win this game.
You got to win games. You got to win games.
You got to win, especially this week, because this is a divisional game.
Division game.
They must
win this game.
So, real quick before we sign off, these are the current percentage of probability chances of these teams making the playoffs. I'm going to go 1 through 10 real quick from each conference. This is the AFC first. The Patriots are 99%.
Oh, that's a lot.
The Broncos are 99%.
Lock.
This is nuts, but the Jaguars, right now, because they if they lose, they drop to 75%. Currently, they're at 83%. If they win, they jump up to 96%. But I picked against the Jags. The Ravens, if they lose, they have a 34% chance. That's under 50%. They currently are at 66. If they win, they jump up to 79.
Okay, so the Ravens are 4-4 in the conference right now. That's what's going on with them. And the Jags have a great conference record, 5-2, but they got to be Indianapolis though, because they tied up.
So these are conference games. The Ravens are playing a conference and divisional game. So that's why if they lose, their chances almost get cut in half. If they win, they go up by about 10%.
Yeah, because Pittsburgh, and I see why, because Pittsburgh conference record is 5-3.
Yeah. So the Chargers are currently the 5 seed. Currently, they are 61% chance. If they win this week against the Eagles, their chances jump up to 76%.
So the good thing for the Chargers, I'm sorry, because I'm looking at the standings as you're talking. The Chargers are 4-0 in the division, and they're 7-2 in the conference.
Okay. If they lose, they drop to 52%.
Okay.
All right. The number 6 seed is the Colts, who dropped significantly. If they lose, they'll drop to 55. If they win, they jump up to 85. And they're currently at 71%. Right?
Their conference record is 6-3, but I guess it's between them and Jacksonville. And I don't know who won the first time around, so that also might be affecting both teams. Go ahead.
Okay. The Bills, 7 seed. Currently, they are at 88%, which is nuts. If they win against the Bengals this weekend, they jump up to 95%.
So they have a good.
They got a good chance.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
If they lose, they drop to 76%. So they're still kind of in the driver's seat.
So they have a good conference record at 5-3. The division record is 2-2.
Right. Okay. So the last 3, the bubble teams, 8, 9, and 10. Texans, Steelers, Chiefs. Okay. Texans are currently at 62%. Steelers are currently at 32%. And Chiefs are at 34%. That's currently.
So Texans have 4-1 division record, 6-2 conference. Pittsburgh is 2-1 division, 5-3 conference. And who's the third team?
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs are hurting.
Yes.
Because they 6-6 overall, but they 1-2 in the division, 3-4 in the conference. They hurting.
Yes.
They hurting bad. They cannot afford to lose any game. You talking about someone that can't afford to lose any games. Kansas City cannot afford to lose any games whatsoever.
So watch this. If they lose Kansas City, they drop to 11%.
Yeah, I see why. I see why. They hurting bad.
If the Steelers lose to the Ravens, they drop to 18%.
Okay.
If the Texans lose to the Chiefs, it's not going to hurt them as bad, but they'll be under 50%. It'll be 47%. Okay. Mm-hmm. Moving on, NFC, because we pushing for time.
Yeah, I know.
Number 1 seed is the Bears. They currently have a 72% chance. Even though they are the number 1 seed, they only have a 72% chance of making the playoffs. If they lose to Green Bay, it drops to 65. They're still in decent shape. If they win, however, they jump up to a 90 percentile.
They need to win some division games. They won conference games, but they need to win some division games. That's 1-2 in the division.
That's what they have to do. The Rams are currently at 96%. Okay. If they lose to the Cardinals, which I doubt, they'll drop to 89. If they win, they'll jump to 98.
2-1 in the division, 4-3 in the conference.
Yeah. Okay, so the Eagles, 3 seed. The Eagles are currently 94%. If they lose to the Chargers, they drop to 89, which is still pretty good.
Mhm.
And if they win, they jump to 98. They pretty much all but lock themselves in.
They're 7-3 in the conference, but 2-2 in the division.
Yeah. The Bucks currently 81. If they lose, 70. If they win, 85.
So they 5-3 in the conference. They 2-0 in the division. They got some division games coming up.
Mm-hmm. Number 5 in seeding. The Seahawks currently 92. With a loss, they go to 96. I'm sorry, with a win, they go to 96. With a loss, they go to 83.
5-3 in the conference, 2-2 in the division.
Okay. Number 6, the Packers, currently at 89%. If they lose to the Bears, they drop to 76%. If they beat the Bears, they'll go jump up to 95%.
They undefeated in the division. They 3-0. Their conference record is 6-2-1.
Number 7, San Francisco 49ers, who are on a bye this week. They have a 92% chance right now of making the playoffs.
They are 4-1 in the division, 8-2 in the conference.
That's what's getting the conference and the divisional record is what's got them so strong.
Yeah. Yep.
Number 8 seed, the Lions. They are currently under 50%. They are at 42%.
So Detroit is really hurting. Even though they're 7-5, they are hurting because their conference record is 4-4 and their division record is 1-3.
Conference and divisional games mean everything.
Everything. They hurting. That means they were winning AFC games and they're struggling within the conference. They hurting themselves.
If they win, they only move up to a 55% chance of making the playoffs. If they lose, they drop to a staggering 20% chance.
Ooh.
The 9 seed is the Dallas Cowboys. They currently have a 21% chance of making the playoffs. If they win against the Lions, which I think they will, they'll move up to a 39% chance. If they lose, they'll drop back down because earlier last week they were down to 9%. They're going to drop to a 9% chance if they lose to Detroit.
So they are 3-1 in the division. That's what's helping them. But they're 3-4-1 in the conference.
Mm-hmm. And number 10, the Panthers, who are off this week, have a 22% chance of making the playoffs.
They are 2-1 in the division. They're 5-3 in the conference.
Uh-huh. So those are your playoff percentage chances. I think that's something I think we'll do each week after each week has played. We'll go back and check the percentages and see where everybody is based on how the games play out. Because some teams, their winning and losing affects it, but also teams in their conference, in their division, what happens with those other teams in their division affects their playoff chances. So I think we're in the home stretch, like the title says, and I think that we should address that every week. So we'll do that after Pando's picks. We'll talk about playoff chances.
Okay, that's good.
Top 10 seeds.
But eventually that top 10 is going to shrink.
Yeah, because people are going to start getting eliminated. Because, for example, the Saints. I can tell you right now because I'm still here. The Cardinals are eliminated. The Saints are eliminated. The Giants are officially eliminated in the NFC. And then the Raiders and the Titans are eliminated.
Eliminated in AFC, yep.
So after this week, we probably will have some more eliminations.
Yeah, because if Cleveland loses, I can almost see them probably being eliminated. They are 0-4 in their division, 2-6 in the conference.
But Cleveland's not going to lose this week. They're going to beat the Raiders.
Oh, that's right. They're going
to beat the Titans, excuse me.
I don't know who else might be. Maybe Minnesota. If they lose, maybe they might be eliminated. I don't know. Maybe Atlanta. We'll see. But anyway, hey, y'all, we'll be back next Wednesday. Also, announcement. Christmas Eve, Wednesday. New Year's Eve, Wednesday. We are live. Just like Thanksgiving. Just like Wednesday before Thanksgiving, we were live. So Christmas Eve, Wednesday before Christmas, New Year's Eve, Wednesday before New Year's, if I'm saying this right. We are live, okay? You're going to catch us live just like tonight on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, okay? You can follow us on IG, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook, okay? Society Breakdown, thanks for joining us. Please, if you like our content, please like the video, subscribe to us, hit the notification bell to all, share this content with people you know.
You should hit that sub button.
Yeah, hit that sub button, please. Just trying to win the division and get a wild card spot. We'll see, Carl. Dallas just need to keep winning games. That's what Dallas need to do. They just need to win games, see what happens.
I think they messed up too early, and it's they can't recover from what they did early this season because of everybody that's ahead of them. That's what's hurting them because they could win out and still not make the playoff.
Yeah, but they just need to control what they can control, and that's try to win every game, no matter what. That's what they need to try to do.
So they have to win and get help.
Yeah, because that conference record is killing them 3-4-1.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, I'm glad that Steve was able to join us. Hopefully Tristan can join us next week. But anyway, Coach Williams, NFL Encyclopedia, Wildcat quarterback that runs the show, future Hall of Famer. That direction, Panel 316, the good guy with the black hat.
Howdy.
Peace out, y'all. Good night.